everybody, welcome back to more Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind. We're already done with these. So the plan, as I outlined in the last episode, was to do more traditional Let's Play episodes of the Limit Cut battles. And then you'll have some sort of video of my experience completing and fighting these guys first. I think I streamed almost all of them except for maybe one or two victories, which I did record in some way. So that video will exist, but that I think will be after, well, we've done these normally. So here's my current setup. I've got Royal Ribbon, the Master Belt, and Cosmic Chain. Master Belt's like one of the last pieces of gear you get in this place. I also have the Secret Boss's accessory, the Crystal Regalia Plus, which is just a better version of this thing, where it's pink and it's got some cooler trimmings. I just think it's decent. A 625 is pretty solid. And Breakthrough, which is another piece of equipment you get here. I'm also stocked up on high potions and high ethers. Also, in terms of Keyblades, we're just using these. I'm mainly going to be using Oathkeeper and Oblivion. So I think we'll do at least a couple of these fights per episode. Maybe we'll stretch it out. Who knows? Depends how things go. I'm going to talk my way through them because I think I'm experienced at least enough in most of these. Definitely less stressful than the secret boss, so I could probably talk during it. We also have access to the premium menu, which is also something pretty neat. You get this if you complete the secret episode, and it gives you two different types of codes that you, in fact, can mix and match. Easy codes make the game easier. As well as pro codes, which make the game harder. So let's go over them just for funsies here. You have stuff like Deadly Blow, where you can automatically kill any enemy in the game. The only time it doesn't do is if it's like a scripted thing, and it'll bring it to 1 to force a phase shift. Think of stuff like the Demon Tide. Say you hit that boss, it'll bring it to 1 and then force the second phase. But stuff like the Giant Vulture Heartless and Pirates, where you have to fly on the Heartless and shoot at it, that'll die in one hit, which makes this game better. You also have stuff like your HP regenerates, the game blocks for you, your focus regenerates, Form Charge, where you'll gain Situation Bar over time, and a bunch of stuff where you get some of the different situation commands faster. And then other stuff like AP cost, everything is 0, which is ridiculous. However, they did put this here, and I think they should have put it in pro codes, in my opinion. It's called Survival. And in Survival, your attack, your strength, and your magic are tripled, both for you and your enemy. That can make things really, really interesting. On top of that, you get Cooking Master, which, from what I've heard, if you turn this on and you try to cook anything, it skips the minigame entirely and gives you an excellent. So it gives you the plus version. All shop things are half price. And this thing right here, which maxes out your gummy ship and gives you everything, to the point where you get the ultimate gummy ship, Golden Highwind, just cuz. For reference, I'm pretty sure by the time this comes out, I will have started it. I'm most likely going to do some sort of level 1 run using the easy codes of these three and Survival, and seeing how that works. Because the idea of a level 1 run where you do triple damage is pretty good, because you get one-shotted in level 1 anyway. And it might actually make playing through level 1 fun for me. So who knows? And then, of course, you have the pro codes, which are stuff like your whole team's stats are returned to their initial default status, regardless of level. So I guess that means that it gets rid of any various bonuses you may have. Here's one where it just sets your defense to 0, but if you put on defense boost, you can circumvent it. HP and MP slip, which just makes them decrease until they reach until it reaches dangerous levels. This one, the MP recharge time will be doubled. It'll just run out. No shot locks, no cure, no battle items, no links, no form changes, no attractions, no team attacks, no Kupo coins. An ability limit where you're only allowed to equip 30 abilities at one time. These are all things that can make a really challenging run. I think to get 100% of the trophies in Remind, I'm going to have to go on beginner and turn every pro code on, because you only have access to one page of the premium menu on a new game. You start a new game, they make you pick. It's one of the choices where you have no codes, easy codes, or pro codes. I'm going to have to do a beginner run of pro codes because there are a bunch of challenges. They're just all of the bosses from the various things in the game. So it's like Olympus, take out the Titans with all of them on. So I'm definitely going to have to mess around with that. That's something I'll be doing off stream, I imagine. But yeah, that's what we're looking at. Now that I've filled the video with talking about that aspect of the DLC, let's start taking on the data battles. I think the first one that we're going to take on is young Xehanort, which I think is the easiest of them. But as Tai Yasue, the co-director of the KH series and Kingdom Hearts 3, has said, these fights will be difficult depending on how you are. I'm interested in interested in seeing what other people think are the easiest ones. So he starts off by teleporting 3 times, then does the string here, which you can then risk dodge into and start nailing some damage here. Alright, he will then do 3 more teleports, and then I just continue doing this. Then toward the end, I try to counter. I have the wrong counter for this fight. From here, he does the ice, teleports 4 times, so I roll toward the ice and away from him, because his whip will in fact break your guard, and then you'll get frozen by the ice if you're not too careful. Though I have seen some people combo him while the second ice is happening, and that has allowed them to get some damage in. Here he does some dive bombs. You can punish the last one, but in the air, I can't do shit. Let's go into dark form. Alright, what are we doing now? Ice, ice. Okay. 2, 3. Ah, yes, the second time he does 3 instead of 4 teleports to try and trip you up. And, let's go into double form. And here is his DM, his desperation move. You have to break out of the frozen time. And the best way to do that is to counter him. It is not as complicated as you may think after stuff like Green Drop. And as you can see, his health is really pathetic. Let's go ahead and layer on a little bit of this. His defense is high, so that's not going to do much. Alright, that was his first string again. Let's heal up. Alright, back to the ice. We are almost at the end of this fight. Alright, here is this move, which we can then risk dodge into. And when he's at 1 HP, we do it again. This time with added ice attacks. Ah, he's over here. Oh no! Okay. We're gonna keep that in. I'm allowing myself to die on some of these. I blame 100% of my death on the fact that I had a bad counter. Counter kick against this guy is terrible. It sets you up in the air in a way that just isn't great. Counter kick used to be my favorite, but as it turns out, Slash is actually a lot better in a lot of cases. So let's layer it on again. Alright, he'll try to time stop you, but you don't let that get you down or anything. Alright. Huh, he didn't even... I actually disrupted some of his stuff. He's supposed to do 2 ices there, but I guess me hitting him made it so he didn't cast it. Interesting. Alright, here's the dive bombs. You wait for the third, where he does 2 of them. Get that red counter, that critical counter for more damage. We pop ourselves some of that dark form. Whenever you hit his revenge value, which is his limit on how much you can hit him at one time, he just tries to freeze you. which is cute. Alright, thankfully KH3 combos nowadays can actually have decent reach. And we've managed to get a little bit of something in here. There we go. How about we get a little bit of this? Alright, that's enough to push us to the end here. Almost there. And got him. Not the most graceful win, but it's a win. I'll take it. So, with young Xehanort done, I think the next one I should go into is one that's going to be a little bit on the annoying side, but I need to just get into it. It is Luxord. Luxord is, of course, a battle of time. And just like Kingdom Hearts 2, that can be annoying for people. But,
now, let the game begin.
I generally have it down to this point, though I haven't fought him since I won the first time. So we'll see. So this rule here is use Thunder on his cards. And if you do that, you can break them. Otherwise, they become unblockable toward the end. We want to block every attack he does, because ones we don't end up landing on the floor. And that's going to make things complicated later. Next, we have to hit the circle card. And of course, this game's combo system can make it, you're not used to stopping your mashing. He then hides amongst some cards. However, the circle cards will not rotate.
Figure the rules out. Figure the rules out.
And at the end, if you get enough circle cards, you're rewarded with revealing where he is. Then we can layer on at least a couple of combos on this one. You only get about one combo on the other game that I failed earlier.
It's more fun when you beat the odds. Back off.
Unfortunately, I didn't have enough magic. Let's refresh that. There we go. Let's keep the floor clean if we can. Alright, he's got a few things there. Alright, so, depending on how many are on the floors, how many he gets to hide with, and we have not too many.
Figure the rules out.
And he's over here. I like this fight a lot better than the Kingdom Hearts 2 one. It has less of that. The command menu has circles and X's. Hope you have quick reflexes. Didn't like that one too much. This is a lot more palatable to me. I also think the remix they put here is amazing. Alright, we've majorly fucked up on this phase. We've given him way too much stuff to work with.
Pick a card. On to the next game.
Okay, it's this game. This is relatively simple, but I'm bad. See?
Do you think you
Hit the X.
find me?
Unfortunately, the way you attack and combo in this game makes it so you'll hit a lot of cards by accident, which is really some of the most annoying stuff.
Figure the rules out.
However, all hope is not lost yet. We could pull out a win. We are closing in on his desperation. Of course, if we run out of health, we'll also lose. So we have 2 lose conditions. Not great. Is it time for a game? It in fact is. He shall hide amongst the cards I failed to get rid of, and we must find him. I guess if you follow the screen, you could also find him that way, but I've never been that lucky. Wow, everyone was next to each other. How fortunate for me. Alright, he's in the red now.
Now, let the game begin.
This is the desperation move. At this point, you won't ever need to attack him. Just hit the triangle button. However, I have situation commands, so I need to get rid of them now.
Dangerously, Sora.
He'll then shoot cards out. You mainly just have to find him amongst the cards. Doing so will restore your time meter. Picking the wrong ones will restore his, I believe.
Let's start over.
All right, we got 3 off that. Pretty good.
Live dangerously, Sora.
Ooh, yikes! For some reason, I thought that wouldn't hurt me because I'm dumb. That's why. Next.
Live dangerously.
Ah, it's moments like that that are really annoying. Of just like you barely missed it.
Figure the rules out.
I almost got 3, but I was so nervous because I'm like, fucking really? They're just all there? Like, what's the catch, man?
I always win in the
All right, we got up to 3. Now we're in the final phase in which he wants you to get 3 in a row. However, when he appears on a card, he's a lot more aggressive with it.
Live dangerously, Sora. Figure the rules out. Where'd I go? Pick a card. Over here.
It is super annoying how often he leaves.
Shuffle.
We're almost even now.
Where'd I go?
Yeah, the fact that he just leaves immediately. And we got it. We are out of that DM. We are rewarded with some extra damage. And we just need to do our best to win his now upgraded versions of his games. Because naturally, they're a bit more intense now. However, we only need to win 1 with his time meter like that.
The game continues.
However, he has changed the game slightly. Now they require fire.
Choose wise.
Now you have to do this game from before, but now from the outside.
Do you think you can?
Unfortunately, I think that's like the worst of the games. Like, easy. I can tell you that shit for free. It's just so much more annoying to deal with. Oh, we found him. I thought that was a circle. That could have been bad. Oh, he's so close. Oh, thank God. I was afraid of losing with him having no visible time left. But I'm happy we won. That fight, I feel like, could be the most hated one for a lot of people. But I think it's slower paced than the one from Kingdom Hearts 2. But I think overall, design-wise, I think it's a lot more fair. Because the other one was just... The command bar there is going to have a circle, an X, an X, and an X. And they're going to shuffle them around. and you have to have either quick reflexes or pause buffering, so you like pause and unpause to like get the timing down. And I just found it to be not very fun. Its normal version in the main game is fine. The data version, they kind of ratcheted up because they know you've played it before. This, though, I think is actually fun and okay, aside from the fact that Sora's combos don't deal well with pinpoint card hitting accuracy. Or sometimes when there are two cards to the left and right of you, you're closer to the left, but the game has decided that the auto target, the yellow auto target, is the one on the right, and you don't know that because you're just hitting the button and you get so angry. Yeah, that can be a bit of a problem. We should probably take on another one of these. But which one would the other one end up being? I wonder. Who do I have somewhat any form of... I'm trying to think of what I have experience in. I'm already feeling like I'm running out, and I'm running out of my depth of like, I can definitely take this one out. No problem, guys. It's not coming. Oh, one, we should probably get Starlight out and put on Ultimate Weapon in case things get hairy. That is a number one imperative. We'll take on Marluxia. To do that, we're gonna go ahead and change our shortcuts to fire, because he's actually weak to fire in certain situations. So let's get to it. This is one of my favorites of like the mid-range difficult ones.
I'll scatter you to the wind.
So
Ready?
he opens up with this combo string, which you can punish him at the end if you time it right. Otherwise, he'll teleport here and you can punish there. Whenever you hit his revenge value, he'll come in with an unblockable attack. Then he does this. Unblockable on the third one, so you just roll through it, and then punish him again. He's mad, and then we move on to some of the first stuff here. You can punish his wind attack by blocking at the start, which is kind of a reverse version of the main game's version of this fight. Now we've moved on to his first gimmick. You may remember this from Kingdom Hearts 2. He puts a doom counter on us of 15. We can only take 15 hits, or 14 hits before we're dead. From here, we need to do our best to take down his armor gauge. As he summons a sick-ass skull. How did I forget? It's a visual treat. His last hit there is always going to be unblockable, so be careful of that. Going into double form, and we've managed to do it. He has hit stunts. Let's just go ahead and get a combo in. Hit dispel to get the doom off you, and then he summons these orbitals, these like orbital bits that you need to you need to take out immediately. Once you take them all out, he will appear in the middle and be vulnerable, but I was too high to be able to punish it properly. So I'm pretty depressed about that. Let's just go ahead and do the finisher now, because we're not going to get the damage in otherwise. So from here, he straight up is doing the same pattern as before, where he's summoning this giant skull area. We're going to try and get a little bit of damage in wherever we can. But I want optimal use of certain things. He summons these things on the ground that are unblockable too, which you got to be careful of. He then makes these weird like vine pawns that he sucks you into. As a whole, he has a lot of attacks. He then goes into this specific... Damn it. Alright, well, we'll talk about that when we do our second try. I was going to talk about that armor phase and how to deal with that, but I guess we'll do it in a second. Alright. Now that I've talked about that stuff, we can be a little bit on cruise control for some of the start of this fight again. Because, you know, I explained how this first part goes, and a lot of the stuff is pretty consistent. Alright, here's the DM that he uses in the main game. I'm going to do worse at it now because, I don't know. See, this is why I didn't record these normally. Learning these fights can be a nightmare if I wanted to. It would be like Let's Play Poison. Alright, we haven't dealt enough damage to push him to his next phase yet, so he gets to do a little bit of this. Form changes will break the bits, so I recommend doing that. It's a really easy way to get them all to go away. He goes to the middle, and you punish it. I think I may like Dark Form over Light Form just for the combo. I like it just narrowly over the other one. Alright, I don't want to waste double form, so we're just gonna take this guy out with a normal Keyblade. We'll save our good shit. As all the experienced people would say, save that shit for Nationals. He's gonna do that. I didn't know I was at no health. Shit. Well, we're gonna keep. This is gonna be my last attempt before I show the winning attempt. So here we go.
Ready? Go.
I will say I am grateful the windows they give you to counterattack stuff in these data fights. I was afraid that they were going to be a lot more unkind and unfun, where it's like, you missed your chance, you're not allowed to fight, you're not allowed to hurt him now. But they're reasonable enough that you can, even if you fuck up a phase, you can still get a little bit of damage in there. I actually should equip the counter impact reprisal, which is better for this fight. Alright, he actually didn't go into the middle because he was in the middle of a string, which is unfortunate. We missed out on some potential good damage. Alright, thankfully he has that nice, huge window. However, we are going to get that skull phase again now.
It's time to finish him. Ready?
Watching my HP like a hawk. Alright, light form get, which means we have a decent shield. Alright. Alright, he's gonna try and slash us with those little pawns, those unblockable little areas. And now he's gonna try and suck us in one of the three, which we've seen this shit before. Alright, from here, he's in an armor phase, which can be immediately broken with fire. That's why we need to pack fire. It gives us a free combo. And yes, we can still punish him for his other thing. Like his buzzsaw move. Okay. Yeah, you can't just sit and block this shit. Here comes this again. Oh, we just barely got it. Now, while he's getting... I was going to hope that while he's getting hit by that, we could maybe get a shot lock in. I've seen videos of people doing that. You know Casey didn't learn that tech on his own. Alright, let's see if we can bring him close. We can. Alright, it is time for the end of the fight. Of course... he puts Doom on us, equal to 99. It's gonna tick down. We have to survive. Be careful. And for the final movement, we got it. Basically, he, at the very end, will continue attacking you relentlessly until there's about 15 seconds left. And by the time he lands and is hittable, you'll have maybe 10 seconds, 10 or 8. You can shot lock, you can cast fire, you can attack him. I do not know if he's hittable during the buzzsaw stage. He might be, where those moments where he pops out of it to throw it again. Unsure. But that's your first 3 data battles. I'm gonna end here. We will tackle another set of fights in the next episode, and they only get harder from here. Don't expect perfect runs. Don't expect me to not exploit links to get through some of the harder parts here, but we're gonna get some wins. And as long as progress is being made, the Let's Play is perfect. And that's gonna do it for this episode of KH3 Remind. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. My videos are not possible without the generous support of people over on my Patreon. You're seeing their names go across the screen right now. Of course, we have to give some special props to some of the higher tiered patrons, and I'm gonna do so now. They include people such as the Wayfinders, such as Losky3, Dronic LX, Sheep Heavenly, Mr. I Like Bacon, Javier Porksword, Haas Bear, Matthew Cassidy, Jordan Pastrana, and Azure Counselor. But standing even above them as my ultimate supporters, the organization, the highest tier, includes Kristen Cervantes, Grim Reaper, Colleen Suarez, and finally, Ed Rodriguez. Thank you so much to the people who support me over on patreon.com/KZExcellent. If you want your name featured, head on over to the Patreon link in the description and consider supporting and checking out the various perks. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.